Hello. I don't know why I keep laughing at the start. Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Ball. I am Collie and I'm joined by Conor. Conor, what's the crack?
What's the story? Long time no speak.
I haven't seen you in ages. And Paddy, Big Paddy, what's the story?
A bit smellier than the last episode.
That'll be my piss.
Fair enough.
Fucking hell. All right.
Lads, on this episode, we're going to be looking at the fantasy football. We're going to have some fans' opinions, and we're going to be doing our weekly predictions for the football. We will be possibly adding in a few segments here or there throughout the season. The 10 to 1,000 challenge is one we always do. We may bring that back and religiously do it. Make sure we try get to that €1,000. For fucking it's the last thing I do. I'm going to get to it this season. And then maybe a couple of other ones along the way. So, lads, we're going to jump into the first thing, right?
1,000 to 10 challenge. That'd be easier.
I like that. Lads, we're going to do the fancy football. So let me just bring up this thing.
So let me just bring up this thing.
We have
people that listen on the audio podcast, that was just like a graphic of two men hugging on the
screen. It was Paddy and Conor. We have no updates on the fancy football, but what we do have is the code, which is on the screen. This episode's only going to be 15, 20 minutes, by the way, right? So if you're listening and you haven't looked at Spotify and it's got the little timer on it, I'm telling you now, about 15, 20 minutes. Fancy football, lads, for everybody that is listening, the code is...
Are we doing it again this year?
What?
Are we doing it again this year?
Well, I have to retain my title, don't I?
Who won it last year?
Oh, me. That would be me.
No, the main one, the big one.
No. Oh, that one. I can't actually remember. I actually don't remember.
Can we check that? Let's say.
Did the winners this year win the same as what the winners last year won?
Absolutely nothing. You're right. No, we might. I don't know. We might do a prize. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much interest.
A triple XL Chelsea retro jersey.
Well, look, as taken from me back if you want it.
He only has a 6XL one, Paddy, so I think that's small.
I don't even wash it. Not that I do. Lads, the fantasy football code.
Collie, before you read it out, I want you to read it out phonetically using footballers' names.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Like 5N for Nwangu Kanu.
Oh, here we go. You're trying to get me in trouble, but we'll do it anyway.
Nwangu Kanu.
What baller? Don't you laugh at Nwangu Kanu?
What a name as well. Right, if you're listening, get your pen and paper ready. Or else you could just go onto the YouTube, hit subscribe while you're there and look at it. Fantasy football code is 5 for 5 golden rings. N for Nigel. T for titties. D for dick.
Ditties.
These are footballers.
I didn't know I had to do footballers. E for erection. And F for fuck. So there's our code for the fantasy football. Hope you got that. We have Super 6 as well, lads. Not many people will get involved in Super 6, but there is a free chance of winning 250,000. Now, I'm not giving it to you, Sky, but still, we have a league. The league for this one is X for xylophone. X for X-ray. Make it easy. V for Viagra. 3 for 3 little bears. B for ball bag. E for erectile dysfunction. And U for uniformity. I hope you got that. XV3BEU, and then the fancy football is 5NTDEF. So that's what will get you into the league. If enough people message me and say they want a prize, we'll do a prize. So that'll prove that people are listening and getting involved in it. And if people don't, then I won't do anything and I'll keep my hard-earned money to myself.
It's not hard-earned.
It's not hard-earned, but it's earned anyway. Right, lads, that's it. Right, that's it for the fancy football. We will have updates on our teams and stuff like that next week, possibly. Probably not from you because you won't be here. But lads, we're going into a new segment in the show, right? And there's a new graphic, and it's a controversial one, right? And I haven't shown you this, so I want you to give me your honest opinion. And we're moving into the fans' opinions.
Fans' opinions.
What did you think?
I don't like the blue was a bit Man City.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, I liked it.
I thought it was good, and then I was
How many? Hang on. How many fucking goes did it take you to say fans' opinions? Because it wasn't the first one, and I fucking know it wasn't the first one.
It's about 5, right? But I was trying to get voice changers and change them to the robotics and stuff like that, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out, so I had to just leave my own voice in there.
You
So
can
I
just
hope
see
everybody...
Sarah downstairs, and you're upstairs just shouting fans' opinions over and over again.
So look, that's where we're at. Right, lads, the fans' opinions, and we'll read one out each. Paddy, this is related to United, so do you want to go ahead and read this one out?
Darren OS MUFC TikTok. This was sent in on Vidic is better than Virgil van Dijk and John Terry and has had a better career than them both put together.
Absolutely fucking not.
Paddy,
So
you
I'll
being the
comment on
United
that
fan,
first.
can you? Yeah, I think you should talk to us about that first. And
But
tell us what you think.
I would give Vidic. I don't know about them both put together. That's but as individuals, yes, I think he's had a better career and he's a better defender than both of them. Virgil van Dijk hasn't done enough at Liverpool. Simply, he's a great player. But maybe if he was in a more like if he wasn't up against Man City, maybe he could have done a lot more and he'd be respected more in this team. But for John Terry, for the amount of time John Terry was at Chelsea and the amount of time Vidic was at Manchester United, they won the same amount of league titles, and then cups and stuff. It was in and around the same. Terry was the captain, but I think Vidic made a bigger impact on the pitch in terms of defenders were afraid of him. Defenders weren't afraid of John Terry. John Terry was a bit like, to be honest with you, he like shagged his teammates' wives, and then the Champions League final where he wasn't even playing and he came on in his full kit and all that just ruined his reputation outside Chelsea. It really did. You wouldn't see Vidic doing something like that. So that's my opinion on that. So thanks, Darren, for sending that in. You're dead right. You're
dead wrong, and absolute blasphemy on what you've just said on John Terry, and I won't have it, and I won't allow it on this podcast. I might actually cut it. To say that he shagged his mate's missus, I mean, can we just...
And he's racist. And he's racist.
2 words. Ryan Giggs.
I'm not talking about Ryan Giggs.
No. I'm not. There's no way you can say that.
No, we're not talking about Ryan Giggs.
No, I'm not.
If Giggs was the opinion, the conversation I'd say about Giggs as well, yeah.
Not having it. So here's John Terry's.
And John Terry's a racist. Sorry, I didn't bring that up either. Racist.
Sorry, he's not racist. It was proven innocent in a court of law. Okay.
Corrupt.
And the FA said, you know what we'll do? We'll make a bit of money off John Terry and we'll fine him. And that's what they did. And they made their little bit of money and everybody moved on.
You're innocent, but we're going to fine you. Yeah.
Well, exactly. So the FA, John Terry should have countersued, to be honest with you. And he didn't. So
why didn't he, do you think? Because he was guilty.
Let's just say, just
like Michael Jackson paying off the kids.
Paying them off or rubbing them off?
Well, he rubbed them off and then paid them off.
Rubbing them
off. Paddy, I just think it's laughable. I mean, John Terry was in like the FIFA World Team of the Year, I think twice. I don't think any United defenders were in it. You might be able to correct me on that one, but I'm pretty sure they weren't. He's won Player of the Year twice. I mean, the list goes on individual records, and he's won everything that he could possibly win at Chelsea. Although he didn't play in the Champions League final, but look, doesn't matter.
He only won the same amount of Premier League titles as Vidic, and he was there a lot longer. He was playing the Premier League for a lot longer.
Well, look, we can truly say that Chelsea's Premier League campaign or era began when Roman Abramovich came in. United were obviously the bigger club at the time. Well, obviously still are, but at the time just had a much bigger presence than they do now because they're quite embarrassing right now. But yeah, I mean, Chelsea or John Terry started when he was 17.
Sorry, you're saying Man United are quite embarrassing now. Where did Chelsea finish last season?
Last season was a freak season that we don't need to speak about. All right, and if anybody brings that up, we'll cut it. All right, because we're not live anymore, so we can cut things, and I'm happy about that. Connor, what's your thoughts on this nonsense that's being spewed out by Darren OS MUFC on TikTok?
Not better than both of them combined, but better than both of them individually.
No, he's not. He's not better than John Terry, lads. You have to be winding me up on this one.
I'd rather Vidic meet him. Honestly, I'd rather Vidic meet him than John Terry.
John Terry is the best defender that's ever played in the Premier League, and I can't even believe that we are actually talking about this.
Who you support again?
Oh, crack my leg. No, lads, I'm not. Do you know what? This is the question that was asked for this to come up was tell me your unpopular decisions or opinions. And this is very unpopular in my opinion. It's so unpopular. It's just completely
that's why you picked it, you see.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I was going to trigger myself so much with this one. So we're going to move away from this one. Connor, do you want to go on to this one?
Yeah, Craig Rankin on TikTok. Henderson, pound for pound, was a better captain than Gerrard.
Talk to me.
No. Next.
So can you see his points because obviously winning Premier Leagues and stuff like that?
Yeah, but he didn't win them on his own. Like there was a better team around him for sure.
But I think
everything was better around him.
As a captain, in just
if you're basing your captain off how well they lift trophies. Yes, I agree.
He's probably the best captain in the world. Then
he's the best captain in the world. He's the best footballer ever. If that's what we're basing football and ability off.
It's a great trophy lift.
He's a great trophy lift. But if we're going off of who can grab a game by the scruff of the neck, if a 1-0 down going into the last 15, 20 minutes against United or Chelsea or City, I don't want to have to rely on Henderson to rally troops, to be fair. I'd rather have Steven Gerrard fucking try and drag people through games.
Look, Henderson would never enter the conversation of the Lampard, Scholes, Gerrard debate. Like, you would never even get in there. The people would laugh if you included Henderson in there. So I think,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think that's one way of ending it. Yeah, Look, this does call unpopular opinions for a reason, and that is a very unpopular one, and I don't agree at all with it. So, will we move on to the next one, lads? And it's from. Oh, why did I pick this one? I can't read this one. For fuck's sake, Evian. Is it Evian? We're gonna have to go Evian. Evian O'Donnell.
Say with your chest. Yeah, go on.
Evian O'Donnell proudly sends in from TikTok. Thierry Henry's handball was genius. If Robbie Keane had done it, we would call him a legend. Do you know what? You're fucking wrong. Thierry Henry is a scumbag for doing that.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I hate the French because of it.
I have nothing against Henry for doing it.
I do.
It's the referee was a fucking shambles. I cheat and fucking you all cheat and try to get our way to win the game. That's what everyone will do. It's up to the referee to catch it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, true. And VAR has taken a lot of that
kick
out.
fuck out of people, you drag people down, you have professional fouls all over the place to win games. So
speaking of kick and fuck out people, what about Marcelo breaking a man's leg?
Oh my god! Like his leg literally went like a windmill. It was like like cartoon or something.
He nearly kicked himself in the head. In the bollocks.
Yeah, just swung back that way on him.
Jesus, it was disgusting.
Yeah,
sorry. So even now, look, I understand what you're saying here, and this one, if you are drunk in a pub with a load of lads, this would be a great little topic because you'd get people
what you be doing
mad.
drunk in a pub with loads of lads.
Oh yeah. Luckily our Spotify listeners don't know what I just did there. But if you want to see, go over to our YouTube channel and hit subscribe. Yeah, that one's for OnlyFans. Yeah, lads, look, an unpopular opinion probably to a lot, but to anybody that's got a footballing brain, it's a genius move. And if Robbie Keane had done it, I'd have said, what an absolute fucking legend, and we would have been asking for a statue. So
it's like the square.
Similar to Diego Maradona's handball.
Oh, yeah.
The only people that don't like that are the English.
Yeah, this is true. This is very, very true, Paddy. That's a great analogy right there. Right, lads.
That's Paddy was alive when that happened.
Got it. Right, lads, that's it. We're off that, and we're going on to the weekly predictions. Right, lads, we're going to run through the predictions. We're going to give. Oh, don't tell me you've done that. All right, it doesn't matter. We're going to give our score predictions on the games for the week, and we'll see what we think. So the first game, lads, is Burnley versus Manchester City. Connor, we'll come to you first. What do you think?
Tight game, I think. Company against City be interesting. Burnley, good football inside from last season. See how much they can transfer over. I'm going to say 2-1 City, and we will go with Alvarez, because I don't think he's going to start Haaland in the first game for some reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Paddy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think City are going to win convincingly here after winning the treble, the whole shebang. I'm going to go with 3-0 City win and Haaland to score.
Okay, I'm going to say, yeah, I actually agree with Connor. I think it'll be a bit of a tighter game. I think Burnley are going to be the surprise package of this season. I think they might finish around 10th or so. Like, I think they'll do pretty well this season. And I'm going to say a 2-1 win for City and Jack Grealish to score. On to the next one, lads. Paddy, come to you first. Arsenal versus Forest. How do you see this one going?
Notts Forest lucky to stay up last season. Arsenal unlucky to not win the league, considering they were leading for so long. I'm going to go for an Arsenal win here. And you know what? I'm going to give Declan Rice the goal. I'm going to go for 2-0 and Declan Rice to score the first one.
Lads, just I suppose, kind of maybe you can touch on it, but we haven't really spoke about Arsenal in terms of their improvement over the summer. Like, they've massively improved, and they've signed some really good players there. Declan Rice has come in. Kai Havertz is a great player that, look, he might not play every game, but he's a good player to have in your team and bring on. So they might play him, I don't know, but they'd have to go to a 1-2-3 nearly to fit them all in with Odegaard and stuff. And look, massively improved. Go on.
I think, remember I was saying in the last episode that similar to Liverpool not getting over nearly win the quadruple, will Arsenal be able to get over getting so close to the Premier League? I think buying so many players that will improve the team will eliminate that hangover from last season, and they'll come back stronger. And I think that's what Liverpool needed. Liverpool probably needed the team to be broken up and shaken up last season for them to, hit the ground running.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, talk of them signing Raya as well as a goalkeeper. I mean, they've got what's his face? Ramsdale. They've got him there anyway. So, Jesus, fucking Raya is not a bad backup keeper to have. Connor, what do you think? How do you think the Arsenal are going to do, and how do you think they're going to do this season?
Yeah, good improvements. I think Havertz comes in. He's not been. There was no reliance at Chelsea for him to be the out-and-out number 9 goal scorer. I don't think he has that at Arsenal. He can float in the 10 when he plays, whether it's him or Trossard. I think will probably rotate in and out of that 10 position a little bit. Puts him more on kind of Jesus up top as being your number 9. I think Rice is obviously a great sign, and Julian Timber's a great sign at centre half for a little bit more stability, because I think that's where they fell down last year, was when Saliba got injured. Yeah. Rob Holding had to come in. They have a true replacement there, and then Saliba signing a new contract is huge. So I think Arsenal to kick on from probably at the end of the season, but kind of where they left off when Saliba got injured. I'm going to say Arsenal 3-0 at home, and we'll go with Bukayo Saka to score.
Okay. Paddy, you gave me a prediction, didn't you?
I did 2-0. I said Rice will score.
Yeah, look, I think Arsenal win this pretty comfortably as well. I'm going to say 3-1. I bet you I have a feeling Havertz is going to score, so I'm going to say Havertz to score. On to the next one. Connor, come back to you. Bournemouth versus West Ham. How would you see it going?
Tight game, I think. I think there's going to be not a lot in this, to be honest. Neither side making huge moves in the summer, except for outgoing from West Ham. Obviously, Rice going. Scamacca looks like he's going to be heading away as well. I think they need to start bringing in people as well. 1-1 draw. And we'll go with Dominic Billing to score for Bournemouth, because I just can't see where West Ham are going to get goals from. Fair
enough. Paddy, what do you reckon?
Yeah, 1-0 to Bournemouth. I'm going to go Solanke to score.
Yeah, I think we're right, lads. I don't think West Ham are going to do much this season. Lost a couple of players and haven't really improved at all. So I'm gonna say 2-1 to Bournemouth, and yeah, I think Solanke's a good show for a goal scorer. Next one, Paddy, come to you. Brighton versus Luton. How do you see this one going?
The Luton New Boys against Brighton, who look very pleasantly surprised with them last season. They played very good football, and I think they'll be better again this season. Even though they did lose a couple of their players, I do think they have a good manager in place there and a good system. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 Brighton win, and I'm going to go for Ferguson to score.
Yeah, nice one. Okay. Conor, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I can see Brighton kick on as well, as long as they can hold. They've held the majority of the team, which I'm surprised. I thought they would lose Esputan and Casido.
They might lose Casido.
That's still up in the air.
Yeah.
They're not going to lose Matoma. They're not going to lose Ferguson. Probably like feared at the start of the summer. So Brighton to kick on. James Milner coming in, doing his bit. I think Luton are going to come out guns blazing for the start of the season. So I'm going to say Brighton 1-0, and we'll go with Matoma.
Yeah, I think Brighton will get the win here. Again, like Paddy was saying, good system, good manager in place. I think this Luton team, the first day, you can see them probably going a bit mad for the first 60 minutes of the game, probably burning themselves out. I'd say they're going to be running a lot on adrenaline, and if Brighton can kind of score, I think it might take the wind out of their sails big time. They might see 2 or 3 more. So, I'm going to go with a 2-0 win with Brighton. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say 2-1, and I'm going to say Ogbene to score for Luton. He's only have to sign up for them, so yeah, might see him score. Good to see someone in the Premier League though, for the Irish player. Next one, Paddy, Everton versus Fulham. How do you see this one?
I'm going to say the draw here because, again, not convinced by Everton. Fulham have brought in 1 or 2 additions. There's been talk of Fred going to Fulham as well, actually, from United. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw and Calvert-Lewin to score for Everton first.
Okay. Conor, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think I agree with Paddy. Can't separate them on paper at the moment anyway. Fulham with a couple of big losses as well. If it hasn't been finalised, but if the Mitrovic deal does go through to him to Saudi, that's a big loss. Captain on there, leading goal scorer. Yeah. They'll need to find a replacement for it. I'm going to say 1-1 as well. I'm going to say Willian.
Yeah, I do think they have a good player in Vinicius. He looks decent enough there up top. So maybe, I don't know whether they're going to stick with him as the number 9 or I don't know. He seems decent enough though. I don't know if they're going to get the win here. I don't know what Everton are going to be like this season. It's hard to tell. They're not really massively improving. You know what you are probably right on the draw. I'm going to stick with a draw myself. I'm going to say 1-1. And I'm going to say Calvert-Lewin to score for Everton. I don't know whether his fitness level is going to be fucking good this season. If he can keep him fit, they might have a chance. But they really need him to stay fit and find that form that he had 2 or 3 seasons ago, because they've really struggled in the last season or 2. So yeah, it's weird seeing them down that far. Next one, lads, is Sheffield United and Palace. Conor, come to you. What do you think?
Sheffield United played well last season. Watched a fair few of their games actually. Again, I think they're going to be there about to scrap one. I think. I don't know if they've brought in. I haven't looked at their transfers majorly, but they seem like championship journeymen. So whether they can actually stay up for a season or not, I don't know. Palace, we already spoke. Well, we spoke about Palace in the last podcast. Nice callback.
Yeah.
And probably the struggles they're going to have this season if they don't invest. Sheffield United at home, I'm going to say 1-0, and we'll go with. And again, I don't know what way they're going to start or who's going to be fit. I think Ryan Brewster is out injured, or at least was in pre-season. So I'm going to go Ollie McBurney. Yeah, if he plays, Ollie McBurney to score. Okay, we don't know.
Okay. Paddy, what do you reckon?
Big Doherty 0-0 written all over this, I think.
Okay. I'm going to say, I don't know whether Sheffield United are going to have the depth for it. Like, they haven't really made any decent signings, I don't think. And usually when like teams come up and stuff like that, they make this kind of big signing and everyone's like, oh, that's actually a good signing. But I don't think Sheffield United really have done that. So I actually see Palace winning this 1-0, and I'm going to say Eze to score. I don't know whether Eze is going to still be there at the end
He'll
of the
be there
transfer
is the
window.
problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know whether he's going to be there or not. There is a chance that someone will come in for him, and yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to see if he gets picked on the first team because, or in the first game, because that'll tell you a lot about whether a player's future is with the team or if it's elsewhere. If he doesn't, then I'm just going to go with AO to score. So I still think Palace will win 1-0 on that one. On to the next one, Newcastle and Villa. Paddy, what you reckon on this one?
Good game. It'll be a great game of football. Actually, I expect Villa to do very well this season. He done great with his first season last year. Got them into the Europa League, I think, or the Conference League, one or the other. Newcastle will be decent. They kept the core of their squad there. Not as many additions as I thought there would be, considering they have Saudi owners. I'm going to go for Newcastle to win 2-1, but Villa to score first and Watkins to get the goal.
Okay. Conor, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Paddy on the investment side from Newcastle. Say Maximan left as well of last week, so I think they're going to be under pressure to start bringing in a couple of signings towards the end of the summer.
Was it Anno Tony or whatever the fuck his name is?
Yeah,
he might be good.
No, I'd say he will be, but it's again, are they improving at the same rate as everyone else who finished top 4, top 6? For next season? Are they stagnant or going backwards? Villa have made some fucking great signings so far already. This summer, I don't think they're even finished yet. Brought in Diaby, your man Tielemans, taking him from Leicester, obviously, when they went down, and your man the centre half as well from Villarreal, Torres, isn't it? Yeah, Pau Torres.
Yeah.
So yeah, look like they're heading in the right direction. I see again. It's opening day of the season. I see a draw written all over, to be fair. I'm going to say 1-1. And I'll say with Paddy as well. I'll back Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, I think this one is goal fest. I think this is going to be 2-2. I think it's going to be a draw. I think he's right on that. And I think there's going to be a lot of goals. I see Buendia scoring for Villa. So I'm going to stick with a Buendia goal. And Buendia, ever hear me say that? It's in there. Right, on to the next one, lads. Brentford and Spurs, London derby. Conor, what do you think? And do you think Harry Kane's going to be at the club come the start of the season?
Yeah, he's not going anywhere now, I don't think. Munich will have to put together a serious package. They look like the only ones who are probably willing to spend. Whether it frees it up now with Mane officially gone, does that free up a little bit of budget and a little bit of salary room and some of the war chest maybe? Yeah. But yeah, I think he stays where he is. Like Harry Kane doesn't strike me as like a Bundesliga player. I think if he's going to go somewhere, he'd probably stay in the Premier League. So I think he's still going to be there. I see Spurs getting off to a decent start. Ange Postecoglou has a lot to prove. Only having 2 years at Celtic, and then before that he managed in the J League. So not exactly a rich fucking history coming in as a manager of a team that wanted to be in the top 4. I'm going to back Spurs. We'll say 2-0, and we will go. Fuck it. We'll say Harry Kane. He's going to start and he's going to score.
Fair enough. Paddy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Spurs are going to do okay this season compared to last. Brentford will be strong again as they were, but I think Spurs will get the win here, and I think Son will have a much better season this year because he's a great player and they just didn't utilise him correctly last year. So I'm going to go for Spurs 2-1 win and Son to score.
Yeah, I actually think you're right, Paddy. I think Spurs are going to have a better season than most people think, and I think they're going to be challenging 4th, 5th spot there. I think if they hold on to Kane. If they lose Kane, then you're going to probably struggle to get the amount of goals that he's going to get for you. Son, I do see having a much better season. They've confirmed the signing of Kulusevski, so he's made permanent now. So I think it was about 30 or 40 million. So they really obviously fancy him if they're going to spend that much money to get him in. Decent player. He was very good when he came in straight away and kind of fell off a little bit. Expecting a good season from him. And then getting James Maddison in as well is another one for Spurs, that another creative player, which will add to less work being done by Son and allowing him to stay up a little bit higher and kind of linking up with Harry Kane as well. So it kind of frees up Son and Kane, I think, getting Maddison in there where you can just sit there and kind of do a bit of donkey work as well. So I'm going to say 2-1 win for Spurs, and I'm going to say Maddison to score on his debut, like a debut goal. So yeah, going to go with that. Next one, lads, Chelsea versus Liverpool. What a game to start the season. Conor, what do you think? How do you think is it going to fare out in this one?
1-1 draw. Most Chelsea Liverpool games finish in a 1-1 draw. Let's be real. I think it's probably, if you're looking back, 6 of like the last 7 or 8 have finished like a score draw. No, neither team are going to want to lose the opening game of the season. They won't want to lose this fixture anyway as well. 1-0, Mo Salah.
Okay, Paddy, what do you think is going to happen in this one?
No idea. This is the toughest one for me to try and get a score prediction for. Going on last season alone, because I don't know any of the players that Chelsea have bought in, to be quite honest with you. Liverpool.
Nobody does.
Yeah,
do you remember Paddy on Football Manager? If you go too far into the future, they make players up. You just put names together. That's what's happening.
They'll have pixelated faces and all. You won't even be able to make them know.
It looks like we haven't unlocked a couple of them.
Go for a Liverpool win here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Liverpool, and the tall Nunes. What's the tall lad? The new striker, Andy Carroll disguise.
Nunes.
Yeah,
Nunes. Yeah. Third box.
I'm going to say he'll get the goal. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say that Chelsea are going to win this one.
Yeah, surprise.
But we're going to concede the goal first. So we're going to go 1-0 down, and then we're going to win it. Pochettino's going to throw the water. If you're playing Football Manager, this is where you throw a water bottle and give your team bollocking. So I'm going to say we're going to win 2-1. I think it'll be a tight match. I think he'll go ahead, and then we might in the second half pick it up and hopefully get a result. And I'm going to say Nicholas Jackson to score, because, lads, when you see it, he's unbelievable. And I hope he just stay. All I want him to do this season is just stay fit. That's all I want him to do this season. Right, we'll move on to the next one. Conor, what do you reckon? United versus Wolves.
Wolves. No centre forward anyway. Let's call a spade. Selling Jimenez, and have they really replaced him? No, they brought Matt Doherty back. So not exactly set up for success. Again, I think it's a game where United have to win to get off. They compared to like Chelsea, Liverpool, and even City to an extent, this is kind of an easier start. I'm sure they're going to want to get the 3 points, put themselves to the top, moving into that kind of first 6 games. So United to win, I'd say 2-0, and Bruno Fernandes. Paddy, how do you see this one going for you?
I think a clean sheet, definitely. And I think a convincing win. I'm going to go 4-0 to United, and Rashford to score first.
Was Rashford a midfielder last season on the Fancy Football, or a striker?
Midfielder.
Midfielder,
Same to this season.
Yeah, okay. I was just checking. I was just seeing him in midfield. I was thinking that already after moving him. Look, I agree with the boat. I think a clean sheet. I don't see Wolves scoring, to be honest with you.
I didn't say a clean sheet. I said 2-1.
I said 2-0.
Did you?
Yeah, I said 2-0.
No, you were asleep, Paddy. Sorry, I'll clip it here where you were asleep for 5 seconds.
That's funny, because I was talking about United. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was waiting for Paddy to go. I can't wake up.
I did be actually researching when I'm looking down.
Didn't research scores for fucking Luton and Palace or whatever. 0-0.
He's on just.
Oh, yeah, I bet you that'd be 0-0.
The restaurants are closing. Look, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a clean sheet, and I'm going to say 3-0. I think it's going to be very convincing for United. I'm going to say Sancho to score. I don't know whether he's going to start or not, but I think he's going to. If he doesn't start, he's going to come on and score. So that's that.
There's a throw out there. A team that presses United catches Onana out the season. So, but I can't see Wolves pressing.
What's his name?
Exactly.
Onana. What's his name? Onana. Right, lads. We're going to end it on that fucking shit joke. That is
good.
our weekly prediction. So, Paddy liked it. Lads, we're going to be back next week or the following week. I don't know when we're going
No,
to be back. but
I'll
we're
do
gonna-
an episode with you next week from Spain.
No,
I
look,
won't.
in Spain. Yeah, right, lads. That's
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm going to take this weekly prediction thing that's scrolling down the bottom off. I'm going to stick this thing on it so everybody can see where you can follow us down below. See down there, the little thing that's going across. All of our links are there. Well, they're not links, but they're handles. So if you can hit subscribe on them all, if you
Touch my
can
handles.
follow us on touch my handles, if you can follow us on Spotify, if you can do all that good stuff, we really appreciate it. So lads, it's been a pleasure. Paddy, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
And Connor, nice one.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see everybody next time.